straight to the point. 10 reasons why Copen Grand. And I think we should use these 10 reasons to sell this a dream to our client. Okay, 10 reasons. First and foremost, let's get the location right first. Okay, currently it's all, all fenced up with the hoarding, okay, because construction is going on in there. But the actual site of Copen Grand will be here. Okay, and I purposely circle 3 MRT stations that is within walking distance. I'm guessing it won't be more than 500 meters, okay, from Copen Grand itself. So we are not only served by one MRT station called Tengah Plantation, we are served by Hongkar and also Tengah itself. So surrounding, okay, Copen Grand currently now, of course, it's forest and construction. Okay, when the whole thing comes to fruition, okay, then you will know that this 3 MRT station will play a very big part in the future exit price for your clients at Copen Grand or even yourself. Okay, so this is the location map. This is Copen Grand EC itself. Tengah Plantation, Hongkar, and Tengah MRT station is forming a triangle surrounding, encapsulating Copen Grand itself. Okay, of course, the nearest, the red line that we have is Bukit Gombak over here. Okay, Bukit Gombak over here. So this is the location map. So reason number 1, every time I do seminars for EC or I do training for ECs, I update my slides all the time. Every single time I do this lowest entry price for new launch, I will never struggle. Okay, because no matter how I plug in the figures from the latest price, right, EC will always be the lowest entry price. What's the advantage of lowest entry price? Maybe you can explain to your customer this way. Imagine you are running a 100-meter Olympic race, okay, and you are running against who's the fastest runner now? Usain Bolt, okay, Usain Bolt, for example, and you are 50 meters ahead of him. Okay, as long as you run a bit faster than what you usually run, you should have beaten him, because you're 50 meters ahead of him. That's the reason why lowest entry price will always have an advantage. And I will go through with you later with the slides proving to you that lowest entry price is important, especially at exit itself. Okay, so these are the current pricing. Okay, North 𝚖𝚘 being the only EC available out in the market, the rest are also out. If you don't know the EC market well, let me tell you, okay, North 𝚖𝚘 is the only one left that can see for EC. Okay, so if I start to compare OCR project, I'm not comparing to RCR, I'm not comparing to CCR. I'm just want to compare with all the OCR projects. So I'll compare Commodore, Water Garden, Phoenix, Pasir Ris 8, Amor Residence, and Copen Grand EC. Okay, so these are all the tender pricing. Okay, per square feet per plot ratio. This is the current transacted average per square feet. So no matter how I do it and how I adjust, right? Okay, new launches, especially private condo new launch, are at least about 16 to 67% more expensive than the current EC that we have. Okay, the current EC there. And you know the stocks are depleting. You know, okay, if you flip your ERA Pro, right, you ask for, you filter it by availability, you know, okay, ultimately in the end, you have not much to choose from. Okay, so minimally, we are about looking at 16%. If you compare what was sold in Amor Residence that was launched very recently, we are 67% more expensive than North 𝚖𝚘. Okay, so this gives us the fact that EC will always be the lowest entry price. So ask yourself this question: if okay, Copen Grand is successfully bid at 603 per square feet per plot ratio, okay, how much do you think it will launch? No matter if it's launching slightly higher than North 𝚖𝚘 for that matter, okay, we are still the cheapest, the lowest entry new price for new launches, okay, regardless, because of this tender price. All right, so very safe entry price. Then we are still the lowest entry price for 3-bedroom under 1.2 mil. No matter how you try to scroll your ERA Pro, no matter what you do to filter it, you know, a certain budget, you know, you all can do it ERA Pro, right? I hope you all know, please make use of it. It's a very powerful tool. Okay, so to filter off and you show your client, Mr. Tan or whatever you're serving, for example, Mr. Tan, you know, you are looking at 3-bedroom under 1.2 mil. Unfortunately, we don't have except North 𝚖𝚘. Okay, except North 𝚖𝚘. Okay, I'm sure Copen Grand will have units below 1.2 mil for 3-bedroom as well. I'm quite sure. Okay, so this is the only option they have left. If they want something very safe, they want a 3-bedroom to fit into the demographics of their family itself, then for sure, okay, EC will be the only and lowest entry price that they can buy a brand new 3-bedroom under $1.2 million island-wide. This making it undervalued property. Okay, undervalued property. Okay, reason number 2, easier ownership. I will only touch very briefly on this. My colleague Anthony will bring you through in the subsequent. I'll show you the slides later lah. Okay, when Anthony will go through with you on the technical portion of EC itself. So do join our Zoom session, I think in 2 weeks' time. Okay, so what's easier ownership? EC has the advantage over new launches. First thing, they do not need to sell the HDB now. Why? Because an EC, right, you're not obligated to sell, then you buy the new launch without incurring ABSD. Okay, so this is the first thing, easier ownership. If you choose Copen Grant as your upgrading asset progression tool that you're looking at, okay, then you are in no pressure to sell your current place now. Okay, because most people sell now and rent before moving to a new launch because they want to avoid the additional buyer stamp duty. There's no such issue for EC. Okay, all right. So EC wise, you do not need to pay ABSD like I explained earlier. When you purchase this EC directly from developer itself. Okay, no need to pay ABSD, even if you're currently owning a unit at 𝚘𝚐 or Bukit Batok or 𝚘𝚐𝚘𝚗. Okay, for that matter. Now, second thing, besides ABSD, the loan to value. Let's say, for example, your clients, okay, have an existing HDB loan. Okay, then they have to take up another loan for Copen, right? Copen Grant itself. Then no worries, it will still be counted as first housing loan because the government knows that eventually you have to sell your HDB away. Okay, so your LTV is still based on the first loan. Okay, not the second loan. Okay. Third, okay, there's also normal progressive payment. There's also a very unique payment scheme that no other new launches will have except EC new launch. It's called deferred payment scheme. Okay, deferred payment scheme is where you pay the first 20% and stamp duty and you defer the rest of the construction progress, right, all the way to TOP. Okay, so pay 20% upfront, okay, pay the stamp duty and wait till TOP to start serving your installment. Okay, so very easy ownership. You don't have to serve 2 installments at a time, which is very, very taxing for some families. Okay, all right, so this is something that you should know. There's a deferred payment scheme only for EC. So Anthony will cover on this in the next few lessons that we have with you every Wednesday. Okay. All right, reason number 3, first mover advantage in a new town. I'm always very excited. Okay, all of you here, of course, I'm of a certain age already lah. So the younger, okay, maybe in your 30s, okay, those in your 30s, you remember Punggol? Many years ago when I first started selling my friend's flat at Punggol, I think probably 10 over 20 years ago, I struggled because that place was, nothing is there except the SPC and the MRT station. Nothing was there. So everybody avoided Punggol. But look at Punggol today. Look at Punggol today. If you today, just so you know, okay, my client has purchased a 5-room flat for 915,000 resale flat at Punggol itself. So Punggol has shifted a mindset where new town cannot generate good profit for your properties. Okay, so will this same story that happened in Punggol happen in Tengah? Let's take a look at this. Okay, so this is the reason why I say first mover advantage in a new town. To set the context right, okay, so this is the whole town in Tengah. Okay, the whole town in Tengah here, and this is the older towns in Bukit Batok and 𝚘𝚐𝚘𝚗 itself. Okay, Bukit Gombak and 𝚘𝚐𝚘𝚗 itself. Now take a look over here. Okay, because these are all not completed yet. These are all uncompleted. You see this uncompleted sign here? That means Copen will almost be ready together with all these BTOs together. So they will grow together, something like Punggol. Something like Punggol. So if you look at the title of this, be the first mover and reap your gains when it matures. Because you must understand that when you buy Copen Grant, just like you buy a BTO, you are subjected to the minimum occupation period of 5 years. Okay, so your property will reach MOP almost the same time as the rest of the BTOs itself. Okay, so this makes you the first mover, the first people who anchor yourself at Tengah itself. So what's the advantage of that? Let's take a look. Okay, first and foremost, Tengah EC, which is Copen Grant, is located in the Garden District over here. We are right next to the Jurong Innovation District. So because we are right next to the Jurong Innovation District, we are located to the future innovation and technology of work that can be, produced in the area there. Okay, so demand for real estate will increase, okay, with pickup activities in employment over at JID itself. Okay, so that is the advantage that you have. New place, people will have the demand for real estate, whether you're renting or whether you want to buy, okay, they will prefer something newer. If you have served resale clients before, the resale clients will always tell you, okay, James, I'm looking at something newer. Okay, can the lease not be so old? Can I look at some flats that is about 5-year-old, 10-year-old? Can I look at some condo that's about 5-year-old, 10-year-old? Because if it's too old, a lot of maintenance issues and all this. Okay, so this is the advantage of a new town. Okay, not only that it is everything is brand new, we are also next to JID itself. Okay, so this is the big advantage of Tengah. All right, then let me begin with you the Punggol story. Okay, just to throw numbers into what I said earlier about the Punggol story. Let me take a look at this. 𝚌𝚊𝚙 was one of the first few ECs that was launched in Punggol 2011. Water Bay subsequently, River Park first, then Water Bay in 2012. So 3 ECs that were launched. Do you know these 3 ECs were launched before the commencement of Waterway Point? So these 3 people, this group of 1,000 plus of EC owners took the gamble and said that, oh, there's no shopping mall in Punggol yet I buy. Okay, because it's a brand new estate itself. Those people bought 𝚌𝚘𝚙, Water Bay, and River Park without having a big shopping mall called Waterway Point there. Now you see Waterway Point has so many activities, so many good shops itself, so convenient itself. They are reaping the benefit of this. So these 3 owners of these 3 ECs took the advantage, have courage to go into a new town, and they're reaping the benefit from the first mover advantage of a new town. How? Take a look at 𝚌𝚘𝚙 itself. These are the latest transaction prices this year in 2022, latest being June. Okay, look at the profit margin of each and every person who has earned at 𝚌𝚘𝚙. At least, I can see my eyeball here, at least 190,000. The highest was 600 over 1,000. And the annualized profit was average about 5%. Something that is unbelievable, that is unachievable now in the current market. 5% every year. So imagine 3 years of construction, 5 years of MOP, 8 years, 8 times 5, 40% increase. This is the obscene amount of profit they are looking at. They have the courage. They went into a new town. They believe the new town will be developed properly by the government. They trusted the government in building, and now they're reaping the profit. And if you take a look over here, if you follow my cursor, none of 𝚌𝚘𝚙 has unprofitable sales, all profitable. Okay, so this is 𝚌𝚘𝚙. Let's take a look at, this is River Park, okay, River Park, and look at the amount of profit. These are all the recent transactions, okay? These are all the recent transactions that's happening, resale transaction for River Park itself. Look at the amount of profit they're earning. Minimally, for the past 10 transactions, at least 240,000 they were looking at. Again, annualized gain about 4%. 4% times 8 is 32%. Every million, you're taking about 320,000 on average profit. Okay, you can earn by buying a new place called River Park, then without Waterway Point. They have courage. They went into a new town. They knew that it will grow. Again, no unprofitable sales here. 151 profitable sales. Then lastly, Water Bay, my friend bought this. I just sold his place. He earned about 500,000 from the sale of his place. And I can show you the OTP. If you ask me for it, if I see you at the show flat, I can show it to you. Okay, but most recently, in July, all the way to March this year, the past 10 transactions, earning at least a minimally a 300,000 kind of profit. Okay, annualized gains about 4.5% for Water Bay. Can you imagine? Okay, when I brought my friend to Water Bay, when he successfully bidded for this successfully booked a unit at Water Bay, he asked me this question: "Hey James, do you think Punggol will develop?" Because then there was no water town. There was no shopping center. The nearest place he could buy simple drinks and snacks was SPC. Okay, it was next to Water Bay. The nearest was there. So I told him, be brave, be courageous. EC will have this advantage that you have. And furthermore, you are buying a place in a new town. There will be an advantage. And now every one of these 3 ECs are making good sign profit. They are reaping the benefit of this new town. Okay, reason number 4. Like all of you should know, EC has proven track record. Okay, ECs have proven track record. All these are the ECs that has achieved MOP that was sold, okay, for the past few years, and all of them has a minimal gain of 25, averaging 25, 23%, all the way up to 45%. Okay, if you take a look at 𝚡𝚂𝚙 being the highest, why is 𝚡𝚂𝚙 being the highest? Because they were very close to the train station called Sengkang. Buangkok Station. Okay, so take a look. every one of them, all these are the OECs, they are sold in the market and all of them make money, and the highest was those that are nearer to the train station. So if Copen Grand, which is close to 3 train stations, how much do you think in the end he will be able to gain out of this? Okay, out of this, when they take the brave step to buy a unit at Copen Grand. Okay, so if you summarize the whole Singapore EC, based on the few transactions that we have in 2022 in July, all the way the July transactions, right? All of them were buying it for about $700 to $800 per square feet then. Now they're selling on average about 1,001. So easily about $400 to $500 per square feet they have made, okay, from the purchase 8 years ago. Okay, of course, if they buy from launch. Okay, so ECs have proven track record for growth. Now, this is something that I'd like to highlight to you. You can tell your customer. Okay, when it comes to resale next time for ECs, okay, there won't be a customer that tell you, James, I'm offering lower for this unit because this is an EC, not a private condo. Nobody will tell you that because there is no difference between an EC and a private condo when MOP is achieved. You have the swimming pool, you have the security guard, you have gated entry, you have your own basement car park, whatever there is at that point. So the interesting point to note here, besides the proven record for growth, the price gap between EC and condo narrows over time. Okay, so if I take a look at this Bishan Loft, this is the price gap that was the highest here. That means the difference in price between the EC called Bishan Loft and the private condo called 𝚡𝚙𝚙𝚙𝚙𝚙. Okay, there is this big price gap difference here. Then over time, all the way 20 years down the road, you can tell the price gap has narrowed. In fact, whatever Bishan Loft can sell, whatever price 𝚡𝚙𝚙𝚙𝚙 can sell, Bishan Loft can sell as well. Okay, so the price narrows. That is the advantage of your entry price. So entry price is important. That will pick you up for the best gain possible. All right, so that is Bishan. In 𝚂𝚘𝚒 itself, we're comparing 𝚂𝚘𝚒 Green and EC and East Point Green, same thing. Okay, the price gap was very high here when it was launched because it was lower than other new launches then. Okay, but over time, you can see the graph moving downwards means the price has narrowed. So whatever East Point Green can sell, 𝚂𝚘𝚒 Green will be able to sell at that price itself because it's narrow. Okay, so that is the strength of EC, a proven record for growth, a proven profitability that we are talking about here. Okay, reason number 5, MRT effect. I've shown you in the location map. Okay, there are 3 MRT stations very close to Copen Grand. Okay, so in this survey by 𝚘𝚂𝚙𝚙𝚙𝚙 itself, it goes to show that properties very close to a train station are almost significantly more expensive, for sure, than prices of properties in surrounding neighboring location. But properties within 500 meters of MRT can ask for 15% premium, 15% premium over those general surrounding or neighboring location. Okay, so if you are within 500 meters for a train station, most of the time you can call a premium effect of 15%. More higher price, okay, a higher price than a surrounding one that is further away from the train station. So MRT effect is important. There's value appreciation. There's also strong resilient demand with high rental yield as well. So in the event next time after the MOP is fulfilled, your client is getting more affluent, they can buy a second property, they decouple. Okay, so the husband will stay behind, the wife will go and buy another property. They want to rent out. Properties that are close to the train station fetch the highest rental yield. So that is something that is very common sense. But if you can show them this graph here, then they'll be more convinced. Okay, that all those you're looking at, those less than 500 meters from train station has the highest rental yield. So with this kind of rental yield, what's the advantage? In the event there is a catastrophe that happened in Singapore, which is unlikely, but even if there is one major world catastrophe happening, okay, the downturn in the market will allow you to rent for something and be able to, the rental price will be able to cover the installment itself. Okay, so that's the advantage of buying a property near the train station. Besides the higher rental yield, like I mentioned earlier, there's also a 15% premium you can levy on your resale next time. Okay, reason number 6. Tengah has a very sound exit plan. Okay, Copen Grand especially. Why? Okay, let's take a look at this. If you take a look at this surrounding where Copen Grand is, all these are uncompleted. And also these are also uncompleted in that sense. In total, there will be 24,000 BTOs that will achieve MOP almost together within a span of 1 year each. Okay, so all these 24,000 people, once they achieve MOP, they will definitely consider asset progression, moving into private, moving into something bigger itself. Okay, so what would they think of? First thing they think of is they will buy, let the truth be told. Okay, those people who have stayed in a certain EC or certain estate for the longest time, say for example, if you stay in Tengah, the primary school, usually they'll send their school children to their children to the primary school nearby. So because their children are studying nearby in the primary school, there's a tendency for them not to shift out of the estate one, because they don't want the children to travel too much. Of course, parents being parents, like myself, I don't like to fetch my girl too far away from school. I will tire myself out as well. Okay, so there's a tendency for them to upgrade within the same estate itself. So you can imagine there are 24,000 BTOs within Copen Grand. They will almost MOP together with Copen Grand itself. So this makes the exit plan very extraordinary, for Tengah. I cannot think of another estate they have this advantage, All right. So you can see from here, 24,000 BTOs owners. Once they reach MOP, these are your potential buyers for Copen Grand next time. Okay, usually you all should know, if you're in the resale market as well, BTOs, MOP flats usually command higher valuation, usually command higher price as well, because there's a shorter lease and it's newer itself. Okay, so resale buyers will usually look at those units that are just MOP. Okay, so once your client's place is successfully optioned, okay, you can bring them to Copen Grand to buy the resale next time. Okay, so you can sell your Copen Grand resale, okay, for your client as well. Okay, all right. So just to get yours into context here, I've just done this. I explained to you, I just done a asset upgrading, and this is my own client. Okay, they sold their 3-room flat at 𝚖𝚎𝚂𝚙𝚙𝚙𝚕𝚒 Place, which is in Punggol itself. When they had this, okay, 3-room flat, right, there was no water town and all this there. Okay, so when they started to ask me to bring them to see asset progression, we see condos, right, they found out that they cannot move out of Punggol because the son is studying in the primary school nearby. What happened? They bought a resale 𝚂𝚘𝚂𝚗𝚂, which is right next to this unit here. So asset upgraders within the same estate is real, because as parents, we don't want our children to travel too much or uproot them into a new estate and give them into a new premises. They want stability in their life. So this is a deal that I've done recently, okay, and it goes to show that upgrading within the same estate is true and is real. So same thing can happen at Tengah itself. Okay, so when the children are rooted in the primary school there, they will look for the same kind of units to buy as resale, be it a 5-room flat or be it a resale condo itself. They will tend to look within Tengah estate itself. So this is why it's a very sound and extraordinary exit plan at Tengah. Reason number 7, new launch in the West. Okay, if you open your ERA Pro, you'll find there's only 7 projects left in the West. Okay, one of which is sold, so I didn't put here. The rest is only Copen Grand is left. Ardent, okay, we are left with only a few units. No, Ardent is not launched yet. Phoenix Residences, only a few units left. Nothing left in the West. What is left in the West for your clients to buy? Okay, or unless you move on to Park Clementes or move on to Slim Barracks, okay, where Buona Vista is. Other than that, really, or even Key Residence. But that is not pure Jurong. Okay, if you're looking at pure Jurong, Choa Chu Kang area, Bukit Batok area, no launches there except Copen Grand. So if they can afford it, if they can qualify, why would they not consider Copen Grand? This is the reason why Copen Grand will be a sold-out project. Mark my word for it. Okay, mark my word for it. Okay, so in the future, in the very near future, okay, let me tell you the truth, okay, that resale, brand new launches, okay, at Jurong area itself will hit $2,000 per square feet. Okay, why? If you remember, our colleagues from ERA managed to en-bloc Parkview Mansions, which was mentioned in the newspaper as well. Their break-even, you're looking at 1,007. So if you plus a profit margin of 15 to 20%, they're easily going to launch it at $2,000 per square feet. Lakeside apartment, which is also en-bloc recently, break-even is 2,000, so even higher. So they even have to sell about 2,002. So you know that even if you have to buy something at 1,003 in Jurong or 1,004 in Jurong, it will still be the lowest possible price then for new launch. Okay, so new launches in Jurong itself, in the West, okay, only 2 that I can think of that will come on board within this 1 or 2 years, is Parkview Mansion and Lakeside Apartments. I don't know the name of the new launch yet. The developer will have to give us the name, but you can be sure it will hit $2,000 per square feet. So if you're getting something, a new launch that is about 1,003 to 1,004 per square feet, you're still buying at the lowest possible inside the West area, right? Okay. Okay, so another thing that you should take note of is the escalating EC land price. Okay, so Copen Grand was successfully bidded by the joint venture between CDL and MCL at 603 per square feet per plot ratio. The next one coming up after Copen Grand will be Tampines. Okay, their highest bid was 659, $50 per square feet per plot ratio, more expensive than Tengah, Copen Grand. Okay, then thereafter Bukit Batok, which is also near Tengah, okay, is successfully bidded at 662. So ask yourself this question: if today you can buy, you qualify, you're financially ready, you don't buy Copen Grand, you say that I will wait for Bukit Batok, for example, I'll wait for Tampines. Do you think the price for Tampines and Bukit Batok will be cheaper than Copen Grand? No, because the land price itself already tells you that the factoring in all the construction costs itself will definitely be higher than Copen Grand. So it is now or never. Okay, it is now or never for EC. Reason number 8, okay, Jurong Innovation District. So it's easy to talk about JID. So what does JID bring? Okay, let's take a look at this. This one I took it out from JTC itself. Jurong Innovation District is Singapore's most advanced manufacturing hub. Okay, so what is the advantage of this? You have R&D here, you have talent training. This is Tengah. This is where Copen Grand will be. So the factories of the future will be nearby. The technological providers like this will be there. R&D will be the #1 important point in JID itself. All this job creation creates one thing: real estate. When there's a when there's job creation, when there's 100,000 people going to be employed in JID itself, these 100,000 people need a place to stay. Okay, so usually they'll look into newer estates to stay because they don't want to stay too near their workplace. They don't want to be arrowed by the boss to come back to work right in overtime. So they usually stay nearby but not too near. So Tengah will be the not too near place where they can stay. So there will be abundant real estate demand next time, making a very sound exit plan for Copen Grand. Then connectivity-wise, to work, play, and live at Tengah. Let me go through the MRT line so that you orientate yourself where we are. Okay, so this is Tengah. Okay, so this is the Jurong line, Jurong Regional Line, which is connected to the Jurong Innovation District, the Jurong Lake District as well, and also the Tuas Port. Okay, so if you go up further, the red line will be here, Bukit Batok will be here, Choa Chu Kang, and then the grey line, which is the Bukit Panjang LRT. So if you look at Tengah itself, we are connected to all the major infrastructure that will create job creation and also a place where we can, you know, work, live, and play at Tengah. Okay, so in terms of connectivity, not to worry. Okay, within Tengah itself, we have MRT stations nearby to support your future work next time in JID or even in Jurong itself. Okay, reason number 9. Okay, this one, my colleague Jackie next Wednesday will go through review in detail the Tengah green story. Okay, but today I'm going to go through very briefly reason number 9 why you should consider Copen Grand, because it's going to be the first green sustainable town in Singapore. Okay, so I drew this from the HDB website. It's going to be a car-free town center, making it safe and green for you. Okay, so the whole town of Tengah will be some parts are not whole town. Some part will be car-free town center where you can walk and cycle everywhere. I like to cycle as well. I have a few bikes at home. Okay, so I appreciate cycling paths that are big for me so that I can, you know, overtake or actually cycle with my children, okay, which are slower. Okay, they can come, I can move them next to me to make sure they are safe. So this is important. And also, do you know they give bus priority scheme, give bus priority in the movement itself? Okay, so this makes the public transport very, very accessible, very, very fast. Okay, and I understand the buses there will very likely be converted to e-bus as well. So not only you have battery-driven cars, like your EV cars. Okay, the buses there will be EB as well, electrical bus. Okay, so that makes less pollution, a greener town to stay in. So isn't that good and healthy? Okay, so if you stay very near a town that is very, very filled with cars, or pollution is one thing that you cannot tahan. Okay, so at Tengah itself and where Copen Grand is rightfully located, right? It's going to be almost car-free, and you have a greener, safer, and cleaner town to stay at Tengah. Jackie will elaborate on this next week. Okay? Right, last reason. Okay, my 10th reason is reputable developer. Developers are important, you all know that. Okay, developers with good track record are important because you are assured of certain quality when they hand over to you. Okay, so the two developers, without having to elaborate further, CDL and MCL land. Okay, so let's touch on CDL first. They have many projects that has scored many green mark certification. Okay, so this I do not have to elaborate further. So they don't only do high-end projects at New Futara near in Orchard District 910 area. They also do ECs like previously like Provence. They have Provence and many other ECs as well. Okay, so CDL, very good track record. And in fact, if I have served resale buyers for condo before, some of them actually mentioned to me CDL, you know, their resale, their finishing for condominiums are not too bad. Okay, not too bad. All right.